Magula's Sweet Summer Children. I'm Sam.
And I'm Carolyn.
And this is Two Girls Game of Thrones series. It's the finale.
Mm-hmm.
Finally finished.
Everyone's gutted because we have to wait till 2019.
2019.
2019 for the next one.
19. You want to take that in, let it sink in for a second.
It's no good. It's no good. We need to obviously fill the gap with lots of other things just to get through.
Watch the series again.
Yeah, watch the whole thing, the whole 7 seasons again until that time.
That's what I did. That's what I've started doing, watching the full series, read the books. Because I think the reason why it's 2019 is because the next book's coming. Is it
It's meant to be January 2018, so it's not that long to wait. So people will be obsessing over that for the most of next year. And then you've only got a little bit longer to wait until... Well, is it going to be the last season?
It's the last season.
Is it definitely the last season? I
know
we said that 7
it was the last season.
But it's not.
No.
But it might just be the final one.
It's definitely the last season of this story of Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
There is going to be spin-offs, but we don't know where that's going to fall within the Game of Thrones history.
We talked about it earlier today, didn't we?
We did. Jane Goldman, who's the wife of Jonathan Ross, who is... Jane's wrote X-Men First Class. She was part of the writing team for Kick-Ass and Kingsman. She's joined a team of other writers, but they've not been told what they're doing. They know they're going to be doing a Game of Thrones spin-off, they just don't know what it is.
Yeah. We think it would be really cool to do the Targaryen, Baratheon, Robert's Rebellion,
the lead-up
storyline.
Yeah.
So the prequel to Game of Thrones, if you like.
Exactly.
Which is pretty cool because obviously they did it with Star Wars where we had the main story.
Yeah, yeah.
And then you've had the prequel, so hopefully it won't be a Phantom Menace.
Let's hope not.
Yeah.
But, it would be, we were talking about this in the car, how between Robert's Rebellion and him winning the throne and then coming to King's Landing, coming to Winterfell, that part seems boring because it just seems like everything was as it was meant to be, but the lead up to that, now that does sound interesting. But then you've also got Aegon the Conqueror, who were these 2 sister wives, they conquered Westeros, and that's when the first Targaryens. You've got all sorts that you could do, but I would like personally to see that.
I think you need to hit it with some real speed, and I think the Robert's Rebellion storyline would be a really good thing.
Yeah.
I think other stuff people could care less about. Because everyone's always kind of wondered, like, what happened when Jaime killed the Mad King. It's been mentioned so much. I think that you need to see it played out.
Yeah, we need to see because we've heard Jaime's thought process when he was with Brienne in that hot tub scene, which is one of the most powerful scenes that Game of Thrones ever put out there. Listening to Jaime's side of things, and it would be great to see that put into motion.
Yeah. Anyway,
let's get on with the finale. Last episode was amazing. Even if I was
highly anticipated.
Even if I was hungover when I watched it, I still loved it. The opening, I'm going to be honest, I cannot remember for the life of us how it opened. I can't. Can you?
I want to say it was something to do with Tyrion, but I wouldn't want to place bets on that. I think obviously you saw them all gather at King's Landing, didn't we?
So let's talk about the meeting.
Yeah.
The meeting of the 2 queens, the 2 mad queens.
And the King of the North. So finally you see everybody together.
In one place.
Can you recall that they tried to say to Cersei, this is a good thing, and obviously I hear that Daenerys is the bee's knees type of thing.
So they meet in the Dragon's Pit, which was for the Targaryens, something that was... Daenerys actually explained it in that episode, that they used to keep their dragons locked in there. Now, dragons, when they're locked up, don't grow to their full potential, which is why Drogon is so much bigger than his 2 brothers, because his 2 brothers were locked away for a period of time and they never got to grow to their full potential.
Which is maybe not such a bad thing, considering Viserion is now dead and there's now a White Walker dragon type thing.
We'll get to him in a bit.
Yeah.
But the dragons were locked up for such a period that they ended up being no bigger than cats by the end of it, and that's when the dragon and the magic started to come out, and it was pretty much the downfall of the Targaryens because they had nothing to back up what they had before.
Yeah.
So they're in the Dragon's Pit. Now it's the first time that we're getting to see Cersei, Daenerys, Jon, the Hound, the Mountain, Jaime. I could go on. Tyrion, just all of these major players sitting in one room.
Yeah. I kept thinking about how much Cersei hates Tyrion, and even though she knows that they didn't kill Joffrey, but she was one of the things that was said was, you killed father, and think God how much she must have wanted to exact revenge upon him at that moment. But anyway, there were bigger things at play.
Just imagine, Tyrion, if you didn't kill Tywin, and you just escaped, how different things would be. Because Cersei wouldn't be where she is right now. Put that out there. However, before we get to that point, though, we have the Hound and Brienne meet for the first time after Brienne realizes the Hound's still alive, and they have this beautiful moment of, it's like two proud parents, like talking about Arya, and he goes, you did her proud, and she goes, and he's like, well, you kept her alive to that point, however she got away, and he went, but I've seen her, she's back in Winterfell, and he just goes, and is she okay? And Brienne goes, I would be sorry for the person who crossed her, and they just give that like satisfying smile to each other, like, we did good.
They know that they've contributed to her looking after herself. So
they managed to keep a little girl alive and turned into a great assassin.
Yes. So, but one of the main things, the meeting that they have, is to prove to Cersei that this is a real threat, and obviously, they then bring out the Warger. Is proof, and Cersei at first is like, whatever. Bring it out of the pit, unleash it from the box, and it launches itself straight at her, and it's inches from her face, is it?
It's the first time we see pure fear on her face. Didn't last for very long, because with Cersei, the best thing about her is, in that moment, yes, she was terrified. However, she's already got the plans in motion of our next steps. She's doing something I've never seen her do before, planning ahead.
She hasn't just got Plan B; she's got C, D, and E.
She really has. I don't know where this has come from. I don't know. This is just years of experience and watching other people around her. But she seems to have gotten a plan together, regardless of this outcome of what they were planning on doing. Cersei's already got another plan in place. Now, Balon Greyjoy is there, and he is, out of all of them, he is the first one to speak. And he goes straight for Theon.
Yeah, because he says, I've got your sister.
And
get it.
What you gonna do about
come and get it,
What you gonna do about it?
Theon kind of cowers, doesn't he? And it's like, well, what can I really do?
Yeah, but then it kind of like, Balon Greyjoy is shut up straight away because it's not about him.
Yeah.
I love how he kind of wanted to make it about him, but it
Cersei's
wasn't.
Like, let's
get down to business.
Yes.
I'm here for business.
So we see that, and we see Tyrion has to take a moment with Cersei because she isn't going to listen to the plan, is she?
Well, no.
Because she wants things.
She does.
She wants full control because she's so frightened that if she allows them to do what they want to do, that they're going to come after her at the end, after the ceasefire is over, that she will then be under threat because of Jon and Daenerys being joined together.
But she doesn't know that yet. She just thinks he's king of the north.
She thinks they've got much bigger armies if they're joined together than she is.
It's when she lays the law down. Cersei says, "Fine, my armies will help Daenerys battle the north. However, Jon, you have to stay on the sidelines. You do not declare yourself to anybody. You stay on the sidelines." And Jon was like, "Shit,
I've already done it.
I've already bent the knee." And Cersei, that's it, deal off the table, and she storms out. And it's down to Tyrion, which was one of the most intense. Like, there was a lot of
'Cause you
intense
think
moments in this.
I think he even went in there thinking, I might not walk back out of that room.
No.
Because she hates me so
I
much.
couldn't breathe when he was in that room with her, especially because it was getting so intense, and to the point where she got the mountain to get his sword out, and he went, "You're not going to do it," and then he kind of like, when he breathed a sigh of relief, I was as well, and especially when he grabbed the wine, that was a genius move. That,
and I mean, even before he went in, there's that moment between him and Jamie have that little conversation, and Jamie. You can see Jamie's got brotherly love for him still, and they say, right, well, what is going on in this world? Right, well, this might be the last time we see each other. See you later.
See you later. And just before Cersei marches out, Jamie follows behind her, and Brienne grabs a hold of him and says, "This is not about honour. It's like F honour, F this. This is not about honour, it's not about houses, this is just about surviving, and we have to survive, and we have to do it together." And Jamie I don't think anyone else could probably get through to him more than what she can.
Brienne can.
Because she is honour bound. We've seen it, like, from the day he met her, she has lived by a code, and for her to throw that code away,
he knows it's serious.
So the motion's already set in his head, and Jamie believes that he knows he can't cross his sister, but he's kind of torn at that point in this timeline. He's torn, but that conversation with Cersei and Tyrion. Now, Tyrion, I fully believe 100% that he does feel sorry for Cersei when it comes down to her children. I really do.
Well, because he didn't have a hand in that.
No, and it's not that. So, he really loved them kids.
Yeah.
I'm watching the first series, and I'm on to the second one again, and just watching the interaction he has with the two youngest ones, he generally loved them kids. It was the one redeeming quality that Cersei ever had.
Because he was vile. But yeah, the other two were okay.
But it was the one redeeming quality that Cersei had. I'm in the second series, he even says that Joffrey, there's only so much you can do with a kid who already had a spiteful tone in him to start with, but the other two, look what you did there.
The other two had Jamie's nature, and he definitely 1,000% was all Cersei.
All Cersei.
There was none of Jamie anywhere in his genes, but anyway, so from there, obviously you see that Jamie and Cersei have a conversation, and you learn after that, don't you?
It's after that.
After that point, that there's just whilst we're talking about it, that it comes to a point where Jamie says, what you're doing,
but
they disagree massively.
Before that actually happens, when Tyrion's in there, it kind of cuts, when Tyrion finds out that Cersei's pregnant, and then it cuts away from that. Now, between him finding out she's pregnant, to him rocking up back to the Dragon's Pit with Cersei in tow, and she agrees, right, we will call a truce, I will help you, we will beat this together, and then we will go in, then we will pick up right where we left off. What did Tyrion give her to make her change her mind? Now,
I wonder if he's offered his life. I wonder if he said.
I think he's offered that her child, if Cersei was to fall, her child would be, because it's the children. It's the one thing that ties them together is Cersei's children, and the love that Cersei has for her children. He knows what it's like. She will do anything for her children to survive. I think because he's been obsessing over a successor for Daenerys, that Cersei's child would be the successor, which might explain the look at the end, which we'll get to later. So when Jamie gathers up his Kingsguard, ready to go off to the north to go and help, Cersei comes in, as usual, calling him an idiot, and saying, "We're not going ahead with this plan at all. At all. Are you absolutely ridiculous? We're just going to let them get on with it, and we'll survive up here, and that's it." And then it goes tits up from there.
Yes. So you see that Jamie finally sees a break in his illusion of how much he loves her, and he finally says, enough is enough, and you're not who I thought you were for all this time, and you are actually without any real feeling for me. It's all about you.
Yeah. She announces that because Balon Greyjoy in the meeting, when he sees the walker, he bolts. He says, I'm going back to the Iron, because he says, can these things cross water? He finds out that they can't. He bolts to the Iron Islands. Or so we think.
No.
He actually was getting on a boat to the Iron Fleet in Essos and was bringing a fleet back
gathering
with
them,
gathering the troops for Cersei to dominate over Daenerys. And Jaime had no idea of this. She's not sharing strategy with him.
Well, he's been cut out of the plan, hasn't he?
Completely.
You know, where they were always a team together, it was always Jaime and Cersei. Nothing could break them apart.
Nope.
And now it's like, well, I'm queen and you're just another number.
Yeah, that's it.
So, you know, thanks for the children and thanks for the one that I've got now on the way.
See you later.
You've served your purpose.
Yeah.
Off you go.
Get on your horse and ride.
Yeah.
And he did. And he took all of his gold off, and he even covered his gold hand up, and
He's
went...
no longer a Lannister, is he? In
his eyes, no. He was dressed in normal. It was, from a visual point of view, seeing Jaime in all this gold, he was the Golden Lion, and now he's just in browns and muck and dirt.
We were saying before, we think that this is going to be... that's laid the basis for season 8, and we do think that Cersei's going to meet her end in season 8. And we think that it's going to be Jaime who does it, which we've been saying for a long time.
Really long time.
As we were talking about before, that there's the prophecy that Maggie the Frog's prophecy that she would be killed by somebody, and it translates into...
Well, the Vanguard in Valerian means little
sibling or
little brother. That prophecy also said that Cersei would have 3 children, and them 3 children will wear gold crowns and all die before her. So I don't believe that this child of hers will see the light of day, if it actually exists in the first place. I'm still not convinced.
Working it all out, from there, obviously, we know that there's only really 3 other big things. Well, count the end bit, I suppose. 3 or 4 big things that happen in the rest of the finale, if we run through them dead quick, because following that, you see Jon and Daenerys finally
getting it on.
They get it on. He doesn't know it's his aunt, which makes me cringe.
Yes, but they don't know that.
They don't know that either, but we all know that. It's a bit like, ugh.
Before that, let's get to the moment that I've been waiting for.
Yeah, so
for 7 series.
So then we've done. They're boxed off. We don't know the next thing that's going to happen with Jon, Daenerys, and that side of the fence. You then move back to Winterfell. You've got Sansa, Arya, and Littlefinger. That whole plot that was talked about, where it's been laid that you didn't quite know whether Arya sincerely believed that Sansa was against the family. Really,
since she got back to Winterfell, Peter Baelish, Littlefinger, or Shifty Finger, as I like to call him now, Shifty Finger. He has been plotting to separate the sisters so he can have complete control over Sansa and therefore get his seat as the Lord of Winterfell, Aaron of the Vale. He's going to start taking, and that's his plan.
Without actually doing anything.
No. However, little did he know that creepy Bran, knew
foresaw the whole
everything, fills his sisters in on it, and just that scene where Arya's brought into that room with everyone, the Lords of the Vale were there, just brought into that room, and she's like, do you really want to do this? And I've got no choice. And then she reads the charges out, and then she says, how do you answer Lord Baelish? And I wept. I thought, this is it.
Yeah,
this is it.
You know, Sansa has played the part in that she acted out that she really believed Littlefinger. And he thought, yes, it's in the bag.
It's in it.
Bag. She's on my side. I've even turned yet again 2 sisters from the same family against it. I've done it again. Brilliant. And then he begs for his life, doesn't he?
That smirk when she reads the charges out, and just before she says his name, he's got a huge smile on his face, and then it is completely wiped. Oh, and it was from that whole scene was probably my favourite because it was what I've been waiting for such a long time.
So we see Arya slits his throat, which has been mentioned. Like
it has. I'm watching, like I'm saying, I've watched the first and second series, and the foreshadowing for Baelish's death is ridiculous. Cersei's done it. Somebody else did it. Somebody else mentioned about cutting his throat. It's just
also
so
how
foreshadowing.
how Catelyn Stark died. Interestingly enough, just thinking about it. But,
quite poetic, really.
It is
quite poetic.
So we see that, and the next thing that would be one of the more main pieces I thought is going to be important for the next series is Theon, when he and Jon have the conversation where he's never really felt like he was accepted fully by the Starks.
No.
And Jon's saying, well, I'm not really a Stark either.
Yeah.
No one seems to accept me, but now I'm King of the North.
Look at me.
And you've obviously done things which are unspeakable, but I can forgive you for the things that I can.
But you can only forgive yourself for the rest of it.
For the rest of it, that's up to you. And you are a Greyjoy, but you're also a Stark, like me.
He really gave Theon a bit of validation for his purpose in this whole thing, because let's be honest, he's been a bit useless.
Well, he's been an absolute coward throughout the whole thing.
He deserved everything he got from Ramsay and more. What he did after he went back to the Iron Islands with Robb, he deserved everything he got.
Yes.
However, you can't get a redemption. You've got to earn it.
Well, now he's going to have to earn it.
And now he's going to have to earn it.
Yeah.
And I believe that he will. The way it was almost sadistic, that fight, when he realised that when he started kicking him in his area, and that smile, it was sadistic, like, I've got this.
Yeah, like this has got a benefit.
Yeah, and it was a good fight scene, and it was good to see.
Well, he was never going to back down, was he?
No.
I think that was kind of like him saying, I've run away from so many things and been such a coward, but this is not happening this time. And I think it was nice that he acknowledged how much he appreciated his sister. And he did say to Jon, she was the only one who tried to save me. He needs to do it now.
She got on a ship with her men, and she went to Ramsay's place. She fought Ramsay off, and could have gotten him out, and he didn't. Obviously didn't go with her for the reasons that we saw, but she still did it. She still went after her brother.
She tried.
I need Theon to really go for it with Yara and bring her back, whether it's dead or alive.
I don't think she'll die, because I think if they wanted to kill her off, they could have done it by now. It's like,
I think he will.
I think Theon will try to save her, and I think she'll get away.
And that's where his redemption will come into it. Yeah. There's another big thing that we have to talk about. Jon's name.
Yes, so finally Bran and Sam have the chat.
What an absolute... I love Sam. He's probably one of my favourite characters.
But, the whole...
What a credit stealer.
Bran says, his real name is Jon Sand, because they assumed because he was born in Dawn that he was then Sand Snake. How did Bran not know that?
Apparently he's as much as he knows everything. I read an article about it, how he's still quite new at it, and now he's being told about it. He can go into the past
and look for
it. Where if he doesn't, he can foresee things, but he has to know things and places. I don't know. I thought that as well, how he didn't know that, but
it's like everything else, but you don't happen to know that that Rhaegar really a Targaryen.
Yes, but to see it played out was brilliant. And Sam, being a credit stealer, mentioning because he says no, he's Jon Sand, and he goes no, he's not, because Rhaegar was annulled his marriage and married Lyanna Stark, so therefore he's legit. And that's when he goes into the past, and we see for the first time Rhaegar Targaryen wearing Viserys' wig. He did have Viserys' wig.
He did. They've got the same stylist.
Hair. Yes.
Yeah. And you see the wedding between him and Lyanna.
It was pretty special.
So everyone always wondered what did Rhaegar look like. Well, now you know.
Now you know. However, they mention his name is Aegon Targaryen in what she whispers. Now, This is where it gets really interesting because Rhaegar has 2 children with
the same name.
with one with the same name. How lazy is that? It's like, what do we call him? Me murdered son.
Got
That's
a dead
what we'll
son.
call him. We'll just call him that.
But has he got a dead son?
No, well, in the books he does. Well, apparently in the books there's a character called Little Griff who is in Essos, who is actually part of the Golden Claw Guard, who Cersei's going to get right now, who claims to be Aegon Targaryen.
Are we going to see that
because
in season 8?
It was what's his name? Bald guy, birds. Oh, what's his name? Varys. Varys took the child out of the city and hid him in Essos, and that's Little Griff, supposedly Little Griff, and he is another Aegon Targaryen. So it was just lazy name choice there. Had all these names, ancient names to go.
Do you think they'll bring that back in, and that they'll say,
no,
when they come back in, would they have a contest then for who is the true?
Nah.
Who is going to be the true Targaryen?
I don't think we're ever going to see Little Griff because they've only got 6 episodes to go.
I guess it's a pretty important detail. You would have brought him in like season 3 or something.
You would have, and if we're not going to get Lady Stoneheart, we ain't going to get that. I don't think so. But yes, seeing that he is Aegon Targaryen was pretty special. What he does with that, it's going to be interesting to see because I don't think Jon's after the throne, even though he's now he's above Daenerys in the line of the throne. I don't think he's not interested.
He's never wanted it anyway, so...
He's not. So the final part is...
The wall comes down.
The wall comes crashing down.
And is Tormund dead?
No.
No, I don't think so, because when you saw the Night King on the back of Viserion, who is now obviously Ice Dragon.
Ice Dragons!
And you saw that, because everyone was wondering, he's going to breathe fire, he's going to breathe ice.
Have you seen the meme out when I've got to wait till 2019 to find out if these 2 prats are alive, and it's like them with proper dumb face staring at the dragon.
But there's a bit of the wall where he would have been stationed that doesn't seem to have been
they're at Eastwatch by the Sea, aren't they?
Maybe they get away.
Yeah, I believe that they did. Beric Dondarrion is not going to die through that.
No. They deserve better storylines to kill them off.
If you kill them off that way, then that's just piss poor storytelling, and no, I don't like it. But the wall did come down. We saw the full. Now it's not ice; it is fire. It brought the section of the wall down, which means that they can all go and walk through.
And you saw it, didn't you?
We did. Now what's been brought up online recently, and I've seen multiple articles about it, but cannot say that I saw it myself. The dead formed the shape of a direwolf on the floor. I didn't see it. And
I saw the picture.
I've seen the picture, but anyone could manipulate a picture to.
Well, looking at it, I thought, well, it could be a dragon, it could be a direwolf. I was like, I'm not really sure.
It could just be that they're lazy and they're not all walking
maybe,
together.
Yeah. It's like looking at a cloud, isn't it, and trying to make a shape.
It's like I would look at a cloud and say, Carolyn, that looks like a tree. You look at it because I've said it looks like a tree. You say, oh yeah, that looks like a tree.
Yeah,
that's what it could be. But what they're trying to say is Bran the Night King?
I don't think so.
Big pause.
I don't think so. I think there's a bigger twist than that.
Yeah.
I just think that's too easy.
Because it's I think it is.
I think he's a Stark. I think he's a Stark.
Yeah, and was always saying that it's Bran the Builder, the first Stark. However, we have seen how Bran can manipulate time, and he can manipulate himself being in places in the past that affect the future. We saw it with Hodor. Could this be a variation of Bran from the past, or either the future?
I don't know why you would do that anyway, though. Why would he do it?
But why would he? He has no allegiance. If he is the three-eyed raven, he doesn't recognise himself as Brandon Stark anymore. Even Mira Reed said, "You died in that cave." He wouldn't have any allegiance to these people, would he?
I just don't know.
Well, guess what?
I don't think so.
You gotta wait till 2019 to find out. Oh well, so that's Game of Thrones finale in the bag.
Yes,
but that means Walking Dead's coming back.
It certainly is.
Very soon.
Yeah.
So we'll be doing a game. We're doing a Walking Dead series. We do our first one where we probably lead it more.
We're going to do a little bit of a
towards-
refresh of
yeah.
what we think might happen in the next season of Walking Dead.
and what happened in the last season, and
Yeah.
because it's been a minute since it's been on, so
And not too far away either is Thor Ragnarok. So we've got that coming out. Next weekend is Stephen King's It that we're going to see, so we'll probably do a bit of a review about that.
yes, we will.
And
Yes,
then
we
there
will.
will be a short break because
Someone's going away.
I'm in Orlando for the next week or so. Living it up with Mickey Mouse. I kind of like Jack Skellington better than I like Mickey, but
Yeah,
whatever.
you know. So that's it, and thank you very much for watching. We do have 2 videos that have went up last week. Our
Yeah.
trailer reaction to Thor, which is hilarious. I know I'm a bit biased, but it was pretty funny. My facial expressions are so funny. Just punching Carol in the arm was even funnier. So remember to like and share and subscribe. There is a bell down at the bottom just here where you can press in so you don't miss an episode.
Make sure you follow us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook.
All of our links are down below. And our artwork is done by the amazing Ray Paez, who actually commented on the last
Did
one.
he?
He did.
Did he now?
He
What did he have to
did.
say for himself?
I think he just did some emojis. I think.
Oh, I thought it was going to be something decent.
Nah, he would have told you.
He's a man of few words.
He is. But he's mint, so just go and check out his Instagram page. His link is down below along with all of ours. So thank you very much for watching.
Thanks.
Thanks
Bye.
now. Bye.